Hi, I'm Mike Becker with PIA National. I'm here with John Gentile, our Vice President of Government Relations. We're talking insurance in the recent 2018 election. So John, what do we know so far?
So Mike, the House has turned over. It's flipped over to the Democratic control beginning in January. The Democrats needed 218 seats to control the chamber, and they achieved that, and they've got that. There are still 20 or so seats still to be called, and that'll be with recounts over the next couple of days and weeks.
But this is not shocking. It's in fact, it's all unprecedented. The past 21 midterm elections, the president's party has lost an average of 30 seats in the House and 4 seats in the Senate. So what we know so far is that the House trended towards history, and the Senate then. We'll talk about Senate in a minute, but that the House did exactly as history would tell you it would do. There's only 2 exceptions over the past 21 midterm elections. It was Bush in 2002, outperformed that, and Clinton in 19.
Yeah, absolutely. This is widely expected, as you state, that the chamber would flip over to the Democrats.
Right. Let's talk insurance, though. There's going to be a massive reorganization of the House of Representatives with the Democrats taking over. So specific to insurance, most insurance legislation in the House of Representatives goes through the House Financial Services Committee. So we're going to see major changes there, which include certainly a new chairperson.
Yeah, new chairperson. Maxine Waters has been the ranking member for the last couple of years on that committee, and she will take over as chair in January.
And she's somebody that's the committee's familiar to. She's been on the committee for many years. She's been an elected member of Congress for many years, but she took over as ranking member, the senior minority role, in 2012 when then former Congressman Barney Frank retired. So she's been around this committee.
Very well versed in our issues. Flood insurance, in particular, every issue that we cover, Maxine Waters has been at the forefront as the lead Democrat on that committee over the last couple of years.
The 2012 reauthorization of the National Flood Insurance Program is named after her. BW12, Bigger Waters 12. So she certainly is familiar with the insurance issues. What do we know about the ranking member?
We don't know a lot about the ranking member because they need to decide who will be the ranking member. The current chair of the Financial Services, the Republican, is retiring, so he will not be the ranking member in the new Congress.
And the ranking member is the senior minority role, which would be the senior Republican on this committee.
So there have been several different members of the Financial Services Committee who have put their names forward of being interested in taking over that role. And so we'll have to see. They'll have to decide amongst themselves who exactly that will be. And we expect that to be worked out, hopefully before January.
So leadership changes at the committee level, but also the committee in and of itself. Some members will be leaving the committee, some lost. And some members will be brand new to the committee. So outside of just the leadership roles of the Financial Services Committee in the House, we will have new committees, committee members at the full committee level, and also the subcommittee level. There's an insurance subcommittee within the full committee here. So
and whenever there's that turnover, that means that you need to educate new members to the committee on insurance issues important to PIA members. So we'll be working on that as that gets decided.
Right. So major changes in the House. What about the Senate?
So the Senate, not so many different changes. It will remain in Republican hands. This is, as Mike stated, this is a surprise for many. They had a good map, the Republicans, to keep the Senate, and they achieved that. And they may even pick up some seats, which is what the surprise is about. There are still 4 seats yet to be called, and those are widely expected to go the Republicans' way. So
the Republicans already won North Dakota, picked up a Republican senator, which could help even further on issues like farm bill and crop insurance. Missouri flipped, Indiana flipped, but also Nevada. We had Senator Dean Heller, a Republican out of Nevada, that lost, and Senator Heller was particularly helpful in insurance issues like the National Flood Insurance Program.
Yeah, this is the thing with elections is that there's a senator who's a leader on an issue, and then they lose their election, and all that information, all that leadership goes away in the new Congress. So that is a blow to us on that issue, but we're confident, given the fact that it's largely remained the same with the makeup, that we will work on with our existing relations on the Republican side and any new members that have come in to work on flood insurance, on the big ticket items, flood insurance, crop insurance, and so on. So we're pretty well positioned on the Senate side.
So in the House, most insurance legislation goes through the Financial Services Committee. In the Senate, most of it goes through Senate banking. So with the GOP retaining control, will there be shakeups at the committee level?
Not on the Democratic side. Sherrod Brown, who was reelected, this fall, will continue on as the ranking member, unless something drastic happens, will continue on as the ranking member of that committee. And Chairman Mike Crapo, who has been the chairman for since this Congress, could continue on as chair of this committee. However, he might eye another committee. As we said, after an election, there's new members move on to committees, some members lose, and so their openings occur.
So if he moves,
he could move over to the Senate Finance.
two committees at one time.
Exactly right. So if he decides to take a different committee chairmanship, he'd have to leave. And so we're not quite sure who would take over, somebody on the existing committee, and we'll have to see how that shakes out over the coming weeks.
So even though the GOP maintained control of the Senate, where our insurance legislation moves through the Senate, there still could be changes.
Absolutely.
Not as drastic as the House, but still some changes. So most of these changes that we're talking about, you have a new Speaker of the House, new minority leader, you're gonna have new committee chairmanship, certainly in the House and potentially throughout the Senate as well. Other committee appointments is gonna start to unfold over the coming weeks and really months and into the new year. The new Congress is set to convene at 12 noon on January 3rd in accordance with the Constitution, unless the current Congress moves that date, which could occur. So key statement there is the current Congress, because we still are in session. They have not adjourned, called sine die at the end of the congressional session. They haven't done that yet, and they have some work over the next several weeks in front of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of outstanding business to be conducted, important to insurance, especially insurance agencies. The National Flood Insurance Program expires November 30th. The Farm Bill has not yet been completed.
And the Farm Bill,
that expired September 30th.
that's important to crop insurance agents. And what's really interesting about crop insurance is that it's a federally supported program, just like terrorism risk insurance or the National Flood Insurance Program. But the changes that have been made to the crop insurance program over the several past years have actually, in some cases, set precedent for other insurance issues. So where the wind tends to blow with crop insurance, it could affect other lines of insurance like flood insurance or terrorism insurance that Congress works on. So that issue is, that program expired September 30th. It didn't lapse. It's just kind of limping under the prior program, but flood insurance has lapsed in the past.
Has lapsed in the past, and it's on its 7th short-term extension. It was already lapsed for brief periods this year in 2018. And so we're very concerned about this. We've got the leadership elections, as we noted. Who's going to control these committees, who's going to be Speaker, who's going to be Minority Leader on the House side. So members will be preoccupied with these big ticket items as they're jockeying for position. And we have Thanksgiving right in the middle of all this.
And a program lapse on flood,
yeah,
that affects lots of people. It'll pay claims. The program will still pay a claim in a lapse.
You can't add on coverage.
Right.
It's more of a negative impact on consumers. It could impact home sales, right? Which is a big one, which happened previously for a long period of time. So it's important that we don't allow this program to lapse. We need to get our message out. We've been working on Capitol Hill over the months on this issue, but we've really been ratcheting it up now as they come back into town after the midterm elections to make sure that they hear our voice on this.
John has a great team that he works with around the Hill every single day talking these issues. And as effective as they are on the Hill, no one has a stronger, louder voice than you, the constituent, the voter, the insurance agent. So one way that you can participate in our advocacy efforts is through our grassroots action alerts. So if you go to our webpage, it's PIAnet.com, right on the bottom of the screen right there. You hit the government affairs tab, and the third option down is advocacy center. That's going to take you to our advocacy center where we have grassroots action alerts, including the one we have here on flood insurance. So John, tell folks, how do you utilize our grassroots advocacy system?
So it's very easy. You just put in your name, your address, preferably your home address. So it goes to the member of Congress or senator who represents you, and then you hit send message. We have a pre-prepared message written for you on the issue. You can edit this. You can put in your own thoughts. Or
you got a personal experience, how the flood insurance programs affects you, your insureds, your community. You can just add it right in here, and if not, then it's pre-written, ready to go, asking your representatives, please extend the National Flood Insurance Program. So lots of ways for you to be involved in this process, but as we go down this road and we work towards the conclusion of the current Congress and then into January, the new Congress, continue to look to PIA for your information on insurance and certainly how insurance works its way through Congress and what we can do to better advocate for you. So thank you all for listening. We look forward to hearing from you.